The year is 1886. In the bustling but still recovering city of Atlanta, Georgia, a pharmacist named John Pemberton is chasing relief from chronic pain, debt, and the failures of past ventures. What he creates is not the cure he hoped for, but instead, the spark of one of the most valuable brands in human history, Coca-Cola. John Pemberton was a veteran of the Civil War, left with lasting injuries and an addiction to morphine. Like many pharmacists of his time, he experimented with herbal tonics, mixing coca leaf extract, a stimulant derived from the same plant as cocaine, with cola nuts, a source of caffeine. His syrupy concoction was initially marketed as a medicinal drink, a cure for headaches, fatigue, and even impotence. When mixed with carbonated water at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta, it became something entirely new, a refreshing soda. Sold for 5 cents a glass, Pemberton's creation quickly gained local popularity. But Pemberton himself never lived to see the potential. In debt and declining health, he sold off stakes in his formula for small sums. By the time he died in 1888, his control over Coca-Cola was gone. The true empire builder was Asa Candler, a businessman with an eye for marketing and a knack for strategy. Candler secured full ownership of Coca-Cola for just over $2,000, but his real genius lay in branding. He turned Coca-Cola from a local curiosity into a national name. Candler gave away thousands of coupons for free drinks, saturating the market with samples. He plastered billboards, distributed branded merchandise, and embedded the Coca-Cola logo into everyday life. By the turn of the 20th century, Coca-Cola was more than a product. It was a cultural phenomenon. And thanks to the company's decision to sell syrup to independent bottlers, its reach expanded nationwide without the company shouldering the cost of manufacturing every bottle. This model, franchising distribution, became one of Coca-Cola's greatest strategic moves. It allowed rapid growth at scale, laying the foundation for a global empire. But Coca-Cola's journey wasn't without threats. In the early 20th century, as the temperance movement gained momentum, Coca-Cola faced scrutiny. Originally containing coca leaf extract, the drink's association with drugs and stimulants drew criticism. By 1904, the cocaine was quietly removed from the formula, though the coca leaf remained as a flavoring agent. When Prohibition began in 1920, many beverage companies struggled, but Coca-Cola thrived. With alcohol off the table, soda fountains became America's social hubs, and Coca-Cola, with its promise of refreshment and wholesomeness, became the drink of choice. The brand didn't just survive Prohibition. It emerged stronger, its identity tied not to medicine, but to joy, refreshment, and social connection. The most brilliant expansion play came during World War II. Coca-Cola's president, Robert Woodruff, declared that every American soldier should be able to buy a Coke for 5 cents, no matter where they were stationed. The company worked with the U.S. military to set up bottling plants across Europe, Africa, and the Pacific. This was more than patriotism. It was strategic globalization. When the war ended, Coca-Cola was already entrenched in markets worldwide. Soldiers returned home loyal to the brand, while Coke remained firmly established in their former battle zones. The world had tasted Coca-Cola, and there was no turning back. Coca-Cola didn't just sell a product, it sold an idea. The company tied itself to the American dream, to happiness, to togetherness. Coca-Cola ads introduced Santa Claus as we know him today, jolly, red-suited, holding a Coke. Campaigns like "It's the real thing" and "I'd like to buy the world a Coke" turned a soft drink into a symbol of unity. The company's sponsorship of the Olympics and World Cup reinforced its global identity. Coca-Cola wasn't just a soda, it was a lifestyle. But Coca-Cola's dominance was challenged. Pepsi marketed itself as the drink of a new generation, directly challenging Coke with blind taste tests and bold advertising. The cola wars were fierce, and Coca-Cola made its most infamous mistake: New Coke. In 1985, executives reformulated the flavor to compete with Pepsi's sweeter taste. The public revolted, protest groups formed, complaints poured in. Within 79 days, Coca-Cola brought back the original formula under the label Coca-Cola Classic. Ironically, what could have been a disaster became a triumph. The controversy reignited loyalty and affection for the brand. Coca-Cola's blunder had reminded the world just how much it loved the real thing. By the 1990s and 2000s, Coca-Cola faced new challenges. Growing health concerns around sugar and obesity pushed consumers toward bottled water, juices, and low-calorie drinks. Competitors diversified aggressively. Coca-Cola responded with acquisitions and product launches. From Minute Maid to Vitamin Water, from Smart Water to Costa Coffee, the company steadily expanded its portfolio. Today, over 60% of Coca-Cola's revenue comes from products beyond its flagship soda. At the same time, Coca-Cola has embraced sustainability and digital marketing, tying its image to global campaigns of unity, community, and even environmental stewardship. Today, Coca-Cola is one of the most recognized brands on Earth. Its logo is understood in virtually every language. With operations in more than 200 countries and over 500 beverage brands, Coca-Cola sells nearly 2 billion servings every single day. The empire Pemberton never imagined, Asa Candler built, and countless executives expanded, continues to dominate, not just because of what's in the bottle, but because of the business strategy behind it. From a pharmacist's experiment in Atlanta to a global empire, Coca-Cola isn't just a story about a drink. It's a story about vision, marketing, expansion, and reinvention. A story of mistakes turned into victories, and of a brand that became bigger than its product. Coca-Cola didn't just quench thirst, it shaped culture, and in doing so, it became one of the most successful business empires of all time. This is Dealmaker Diaries. Subscribe now for more deep dives into the deals and decisions that shape the world's most iconic empires.